Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about what happened with this soap. It has its own story, okay? I was inspired to make a little soap while it was quiet in the shop, and I figured I could squeeze one loaf in before anybody comes in. So everything was going great. This is my Ocean Breeze soap, and it's got multiple layers. So I've got my oatmeal layer that poured in beautifully with a little bit of honey added to it and colloidal oats. Then I had my second layer, which was just going to be white with a little titanium dioxide added to it. And it thickened up a little bit, but I'm going to make it work, right? So then, after I got finished scooping everything in, I was like, okay, let me smooth it in so that it works just fine. And then I'm going to kind of swirl it a little bit too, just so that we can make it look kind of like the ocean spray on top of the ocean. Because next, what I'm going to do is layer in the blues. So everything's going great. It's totally quiet in the shop. I'm making my swirls, having a good time. You know how it is, just totally in the zone. So as I finish off, lo and behold, a customer walks in. So I go help him and I rush back to finish off my other blue colors. So I add my color, get my stick blend together, and guess what? Oh, my soap completely seized on me. So I try mixing, I even try giving a little stick blend to it, mashing it and smashing it and swirling it, working in that color the best that I could. But this was supposed to end up being two separate blues. One that's more like a seafoam green blue, and the other was supposed to be more like a, aqua color. So I worked it in as best as I could. I started off with that stick blender as you saw, and now I'm just using my spatula to try to get this soap creamy as possible so I can try to do something with it. I never give up, so I love a challenge, and I was going to try to make this thing work. So then I brought it back over to my other soap that I already poured into my mold. And it has kind of solidified in the mold too. So at least it is allowing me to kind of spread it on the top of those other two layers. So I'm like, okay, this will work for me. So I keep going and I'm just spreading on this kind of sea foamy looking color, which is kind of morphed on me a little bit, but I know that the green morphs and then after it saponifies a little bit, should go back to more of a brighter seafoam green color. Okay, so now I'm just going to give it my best effort to try to swirl in some of this green color with the white so that it has a little bit of that kind of wave motion to it when it's cut. But normally this is a lot easier when it's more fluid. But you know what? Not giving up. So I'm going to go ahead and finish getting this laid in and swirled in before I go back and try to mix in a little bit more blue into the rest of that other batch. So as you can see, this blue got even thicker. It's like almost impossible to work with. But I did the same thing. I kind of stick blended it in a little bit more, but it was just like almost impossible because it was so thick. Then I used my spatula and kind of tried to get it in some kind of smooth, pasty like consistency. And now, as you can see, I'm just doing the best I can do to just even get it into the mold. But I figured you guys would enjoy seeing, what a fail might look like and how to work through it. In case you get the itch to try to squeeze in a complicated loaf of soap, you can see what might go wrong and maybe how to work through it. But all is not lost. I got it into the mold at least. And that worked out pretty great. The blue did eventually lighten up after it morphed into a more vibrant blue, which I was very happy with. And I was able to work in some kind of textured top. It has that kind of a grainy rice looking texture to it, but hey, I'm just going to call it that natural, handmade, artisanal look, right? It's all in how you market it. So I hope you enjoyed watching this and hearing my little story. I'll try to post the cut next week so you can see how it turned out.